Gurung. I'm from Manang. Before I start this session, I want to share you some of my personal background. I went to a non-profit school for Himalayan kids in Balda, so I did my schooling here in Nepal in that school. The school that school had student exchange program for grade 11 and 12. So I studied there grade 9 and 10, and I was nominated. Malay scholarship opportunity provided. I was nominated, and at that time I wasn't sure if I want to study abroad because Malay I want to study here in Nepal, settle down here. I wasn't thinking at all that I study abroad by abroad ma end up so it really came as a surprise. And the opportunity I accepted. And my selection program in Switzerland, and I had to go there to do my international baccalaureate degree. So international baccalaureate degree is like 2 years IB program, so it's like grade 11 and 12. So I was given that opportunity, and I was very excited, of course, and I took it. I took that opportunity, and initially, like at that time, your story say 5 years back, and opportunities I was very naive kind of person, very limited to my friends, my family, my academics, and I was general knowledge or my interest but I hate reading newspaper, learning about different cultures, different people, about like foreign world. So the one thing I was very familiar at that time was with America, and that really came from watching Hollywood movies, TV programs, right? Even today, if you open the channels, what do you see? American programs are okay, mostly. So what was in my mind at that time was, okay, alright, I was thinking, Switzerland, it must be like America. My mind was just to set up here. So I went to Switzerland thinking that I'd be able to see skyscrapers. So, because that's what you see in Hollywood, right? So, like private friends, and me too. Like when I used to think about America, skyscraper was the first thing that used to come in my mind. So I went to Switzerland thinking that, wow, I'm going to finally see skyscraper with my like live eyes. So I Switzerland landed boy, and I didn't see any skyscrapers at all. And I started discovering Switzerland, and still I didn't see any skyscrapers. So I realized at that time, for for 2 years, and after discovering Switzerland, I realized that Switzerland was so different from America, what I was expecting from here. For example, English is an international language, we all know that. So I was thinking, okay, Switzerland, there must be like general people, or at least like most of the people who understand English in Switzerland. Right? If you go to private English boarding school, most of the students here most of the people here understand English. So I was thinking that in Switzerland, there might be people, generally speaking, who can understand and speak English. No. They have 4 national languages. German, French, Italian, and there's one, I think that's called Romance. I don't know how to, I always have a problem pronouncing this. Romance, so 4 languages they speak, depending on which area they are, right? And luckily, I went to English boarding school, so in that school, we spoke English. And I really had a hard time school okay, I was fine. I had teacher, I had students, I could communicate them with English. But when school I really had a hard time communicating with people. I was using mostly my body language, and in that time I was more focused into improving my English than learning French. And I was French speaking part अनि मैले just everyday wordsहरु चाहिँ सिके अनि body languageबाट communicate गर्न थाले पछि when I went to big cities in Switzerland like Bern is the capital city of Switzerland and in Geneva Zurich तिर जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ it was a little different किनभने त्यहाँ चाहिँ you see lots of international organizations, lots of international people, so people there say they are like used to with English, right? That's say about English speaking people, I met some like English speaking people. So that was another like, it hit me hard. Like until Switzerland, America, but it was different. And I realized at that time when I used to think West foreign countries my mind was America, but in reality West it's different. They have Europe and they have America. And Europe, and other things, Europe itself is so diverse. German people are so different from Swiss people. Swiss people are so different from Italian, and it's so different. So they are like culturally. And other thing that really struck me in Switzerland was timing. Swiss people are so rigid with their time. I was very bad with time management. Like before I went abroad. I used to be late for school, class, my time was like value. I started learning the value of time in Switzerland. Switzerland, I trains travel and all the trains they've always been on time. So it's 10 they come exactly on 10. If 10:30 exactly on 10. The train system, time management, I was so surprised how people value and respect time. This thing, your time for value, things that I learned in Switzerland as well as in America as well. In foreign countries, especially Western countries, they really value time. Time must show up, it's like a respect for them. If you have an appointment with your professor at 10 a.m. and you show up like 5, 10 or 15 minutes late, you're a sign of disrespect, right? They are very busy people, and if you are giving them time, so you should really appreciate that. And for American people, time is money. Time is money. They don't really have time, so they feel very offended if you don't show up at time, right? In time. And other thing, what I really noticed in Switzerland was poverty. Everything was so perfect. Switzerland, my family, my friends were, oh, which country Switzerland, it's like heaven. In a way, it's like a heaven, very beautiful if you go to Swiss Alps. One thing really is my strike poverty. Maybe inner cities like Geneva, Zurich, Bern, maybe there are some poverty. And when I went to America, poverty. You see lots of, especially big cities like New York City, Boston, you see like lots of homeless people, streets, homeless people are people who cannot afford to buy food money and they depend on food stamp. So American government American people who cannot afford to who don't have job and food stamp type facilities. So if you go to grocery, you can show food stamp and get food for free. Well, just to have a problem poverty or too. They're not in Switzerland, but this okay. I was really thinking, wow, Switzerland must be a very rich country. That's it. And the other thing, diversity in European countries. In Europe was like so huge. Europe what came in my mind in Nepal was, oh, European people are all those white pale people with like yellow hair or their eyes, okay, generally, if you see that kind of physical appearance, culturally, these people are so diverse. For example, Swiss people, when they see you, when they hug you, they kiss like 3 times, like my god, they kiss you 3 times. And Italian people, they do it 2 times. 1, 2. And well, for Americans, they don't do it that. Americans unless you are very close friend, they hug you, eh? Otherwise, Americans are comfortable just shaking your hand. And that was so like it's kind of interesting thing too, eh? Different Europe, different country of people going tarika so different. And my Italian friend at that time at school, and he was like frustrated with you. And I don't like the Swiss system. I don't like the Swiss culture, but your 3 times kiss it's just like wasting my time on this. The result 3 times it takes your time, right? You smile at people first, and then you hug, and then you kiss like 3 times. So I manage this. And my school say, school international baccalaureate. That's there were students from all over the world, especially from Europe and America, North and South America, as well as Asia. Asia, especially from China, Japan, and Southeast Asia. So, and it was so like, I was really exposed to at that time, like the international community of people. I was nervous culture nervous that I didn't really know. I was so overwhelmed. React I want to share like something notice and this is also like the culture stereotype in Europe. Italian people find out they are very loud. Suppose if you go to a restaurant, if you see someone very loud, you can probably tell that's Italian, because they are very loud. And the Spanish people, they speak so fast. They speak so fast. I don't know how they can do that. Having the bowl that can even every sub the gap in the bowls in it. Spanish people, if you hear like Spanish, any Spanish pronouncing it. Okay. Sorry. Spanish say there is no gap. The words by gap is when they continuously talk and sentence talking they stop. And wow, how can someone so many language there is no any gap word sentence talking they stop and then they take breath. So it's like an amazing layo. And in Europe, and generally speaking, European and American students are they are very outgoing and loud, very like friendly, very frank. Whereas Asia students they were like quite in nature. So I was like analyzing, observing all these 3 differences. And one of the fascinating coming from like Nepal, the same country, so many cultural background here, and how I used to be so naive. And just the Purama exposed that he is like interesting and fascinating like here. And in Meriton studies, what I think international baccalaureate, they live in very inspired. For example, international baccalaureate programs are globally based. For example, Nepal grade 10 topics are national based, limited to after country, at most about international topic Asia. The international baccalaureate it was broad here. I had to study about like World War I and II, about capitalism, about different kinds of government. So I was exposed to educationally very broad topics, very international, very broad topics. And I was learning so much about things which I have never imagined and never heard of it before. So my interesting life. For example, my geography class we used to study about hurricane and tornadoes in America as well as cyclone in Asia. So this is the differences. And suppose food hunger we used to talk about, we used to case study about in Africa as well as in Asia. So I was getting so many like international, like global perspective from different parts of the world. So do you think like fascinating career? So and our thing education system mostly analytical type of education system here, where let's say 2 years time I had to do lots of critical thinking and the research type. So all these things like education, exposed to a different culture, going to a country like Switzerland, which is so developed. I was very like wow. Wow, Switzerland was my first country abroad. And coming from background like Nepal, wow, amazing, fascinating, all that awesome words. So 2 years Switzerland party and all these things experience I feel like that's not enough for my life. I feel I want to discover more educationally because my education system is one party. Another thing, I want to learn more about culture, different people, not necessarily everything so different. How like Nepalese people think so differently from like let's say Indian or Chinese or even European countries. So fascinated by it, I decided I want to go to university. So based on my personal statement, like the time I sorry, I should have a water. So जब मैले मेरो personal statement लेख्ने time आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ I was very confused. Maybe I guess some of you are encountering that moment and right now I guess very confused के topic पर लेख्ने. I wanted it to be very personal, write something from my personal experience, so I choose this topic. जुन चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ केको बारेमा लेखेँ भने मेरो personal statement को topic नै थियो bridge. And this month I shared my transition from Nepal to going to Switzerland. Also, I transitions. I explain I reflect my personal statement. How amazing. There are the challenges cultural, culture, environment, adjust all those good things and all the sad things are funny. So my experience like reflect my personal statement like and so and my schools and I go to college, Salve Regina, they really liked my personal statement. They my personal statement because they knew that unless I get full scholarship, I can attend college in United States. So they provided me full academic scholarship. They really wanted me to come to their college. Just their personal statement like that, I got full academic scholarship. So can you imagine? A personal statement like personal statement like that, how big difference it makes? Not just like admission selection, even for getting your scholarship. So that was very amazing. I wanted to go to US. They made your opportunity pie. Here I go to US. So when I went to US, my first place landed Boston City in Massachusetts, and that's where I finally saw skyscraper. So that's where I saw skyscraper. Okay, Hollywood television program or experience garini. So I was seeing those things in America now. And America, I realized how different America was from Switzerland. Both America and Switzerland, both are developed countries. They are so different culturally. For example, communications American people, they are very direct with their communication, right? So if someone American asks you, would you like a cup of tea? They would expect you to say yes or no, right? Whereas British people they say same question, so the British people can answer yes, of course, if you're free. Indirectly type like indirectly but American people are not like that. They are very direct. So if you say yes, they'll give you a tea. If you say no, no. So know that in America people are very direct in their communication. So your first answer is your last answer. Okay? communications पनि त्यस्तो differences. Directly communicate गर्ने, indirectly communicate गर्ने. अनि European people, especially French people and Swiss people चाहिँ मलाई कस्तो लाग्यो भने very friendly अनि polite छ. तर Americans, I'm not trying to say like they are rude, but उनीहरूको direct communication गर्ने जुन हुन्छ नि उनीहरूको culture चाहिँ sometimes it can be seen as अलिक rude जस्तो लाग्छ, but once you're interested उनीहरूको फेरि क्या normal पनि लाग्नु थाल्छ है. अनि अर्को differences मैले के पनि देखेँ भने foodमा पनि like American people, they are so used to eat fast food, going to McDonald's, going to KFC, eating burgers, pizza all the time, drinking lots of sodas. तर Switzerland, Swiss people, Swiss European people are they are very healthy खाना खाने, like salad, and authentic cuisines. Prior मेरो time in Swiss में बसे नि, मैले प्रायः healthy food खाए, like खाना पनि quite culturally they eat very healthy food. That's why, and I can see it is for impact पनि. Well, in America, I saw lots of obese people, very fat people. Amazing. I'm not like trying to like, I'm not embarrassed, not really seriously, I can never imagine that size of people. Obesity is not just like from eating a lot, it's actually a disease only, right? It comes from actually food delivered, any kind of food you ate. Europe, I traveled in Swiss and some part of France, but I never saw any like obese people. So I can tell that from their food having food pattern, but not the food pattern, I can tell that difference. And college started, and it was again very different than high school. High school must say, since I went to a boarding school, I wasn't like very exposed to outside today. And in Chutima, I had a host family, Swiss host family. So I was living with family, mom. Everything was taken care of me at the time. So as I was college in America, I had so much freedom, so much independence. Sometimes I was so nervous that I need someone to guide me. So that moments at so college are the kids, you have so much freedom. There is no one to tell you go to class, get up in the morning, right? Give me class government, no government, it's all up to you. Maybe sometimes professors are rude, they might be very worried when the classes are discouraged, and they might email you. Otherwise, no one is going to tell you, hey, go to school, or go to college, go to class, but homework. Deadline is homework, submit professor, they submit your homework, they won't do it. Because they think you are in college now, you're adult, you should be responsible for yourself, right? So one of the things I've experienced in America. And the other thing, this is very interesting, culture shock. Okay, well, the culture shock, I experienced that in Switzerland, how perfect Switzerland was. Got it? This is very like my toilet example. I find it very funny, so I'm gonna share with you guys. It's a little unpleasant, but I think it's fun to hear from it. The first time college my toilet going I did toilet. College toilet cabin wala थियो. So you can see people going to toilet and hear each other. So I did my toilet. And I was looking for a flush, Flush, and the flush and I started getting nervous. Flushing, so I did my toilet already. Students are so nervous. If I go out, someone might come in, right? And they might say, hey, you did a flush, they might think I'm so disgusting. So I was so nervous. And then I came outside, and when I came outside of the door, the toilet automatically flushed for us. And I was so mad at myself because I was worrying for half an hour for nothing. Right? I mean, Switzerland, when we developed countries, but when I was using toilet, there's a flush wala थियो. Of course, there was the automatic wala toilet. So things like like that. I didn't know it while but that automatically reflections on it. So those kind of that thing you find that things are so technologized, so mechanized, right? Yeah? It's crazy sometimes when you are not used to with such things. And also big culture shock like even in America with college is partying. American students are partying culture, partying drinking culture. That really surprised me because I never experienced such thing in my high school in Switzerland. Party college students, they love partying. Weekend some students like the weekend starts from Thursday night. Even though they have class on Friday, they like to go partying. So they can't wait for weekend. So weekend is a big thing. And okay, partying, that's fine. I'm a party person too. I like to go to club. I love dancing. I love dancing. So I thought of going to my first college party. So first college party I had a friend money and with the college party I didn't feel like dancing at all because people were dancing. I was in a bar actually. It's a dance bar. So they dance they were at least sexually explicit, okay? Like they do grinding. I'm being very frank, maybe some of you might not feel comfortable, but I'm sorry. Some students were grinding, so my culture, Nepali culture, African culture, I wasn't feeling comfortable. I wasn't ready to dance like that. I'm not saying anything bad. They feel comfortable, that's fine, right? They feel they are very open with this kind of things, which is okay, totally fine, comfortable. त्यहाँ गएर त्यसरी त्यो देख्दा त्यसरी डान्स गरेको देख्दा मान्छेहरू ग्राइन्डिङ गरेर डान्स गरेको देख्दा चाहिँ आई कुडन्ट लाइक डान्स अनि मलाई चाहिँ अलिक गाह्रो पर्यो कि अनि त्यसरी मैले मेरो साथीलाई फ्र्याङ्कली भने आई निड अ डान्स पार्टनर म यहाँ डान्स गर्न आएको सो उ र म चाहिँ नर्मली डान्स गरेँ एन्ड देन सच अ फनी थिङ ह्यापन I saw this guy एउटा क्याम्पसमै देखिराख्ने केटा हो के. And he came to me and, hi Karma, and hi, can I dance with you? And well, yeah, sure. And then most of the other dance and he was coming back. Okay, and my friend was Japanese, and things are really comfortable like this. And he came back, and I was very positive. I was staying positive, अनि अझै कसैले उसको मिनिङ बुझ्यो किन उनीहरूलाई सो युज टु हुन्छ नि त्यसरी डान्स गर्ने एन्ड ही वाज एक्सपेक्टिङ मेबी म पनि उसँग त्यसरी डान्स गर्छु होला अनि आइम सरी एन्ड आई ह्याड टु टर्न ब्याक एन्ड टेल हिम सरी आई डोन्ट फिल कम्फर्टेबल डान्सिङ दिस वे भने अनि ही वाज लाइक ओके भनेर गयो अनि समटाइम्स यस्तो हुन्छ जति हामीलाई गाह्रो हुन्छ नि अमेरिकन कल्चर बुझ्नलाई समटाइम्स आई फिल लाइक अमेरिकन स्टुडेन्ट डोन्ट अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड विथ इन्टरनेसनल स्टुडेन्ट्स पनि त्यस्तो थिङ्स है And second time again, my other friend he came back again. And I was telling him, sorry, I don't feel comfortable dancing that way. And your friend was a little rude like it, and he came to me and he told me, you are letting me down. But I'm sorry, if I don't feel comfortable, I don't feel comfortable. So things like that. Even we're like the culture shock here because I'm not used to with this kind of thing, and I don't see this kind of activities in Nepalese club. So that is the thing that's even it came as a big culture shock. And also with drinking pani, of course I drink too. I'm a social drinker. तर मलाई चाहिँ त्यहाँ एकदम heavy drink गरेको जस्तो पनि लाग्यो हुन्छ नि students were drinking like passed out हुनेसम्म drink गर्ने त्यस्तो खालको थिङ्सहरू देखेँ and you are so drunk कि तिम्रो गर्लफ्रेन्ड त्यहीँ छ and you go to kiss someone else तिम्रो गर्लफ्रेन्डको friend त्यस्तो खालको सिचुएसन्सहरू अनि I mean like seriously हुन्छ नि I don't know खै limited त्यस्तो खालको देख्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई it came as a big culture shock again so that was something very big culture shock US मा देख्नु and अर्को thing perspective is something very important मलाई के लाग्यो भने मेरो स्टडी अब्रोड एक्सपिरियन्सबाट आफ्नो पर्सपेक्टिभ छँदै छ तर अर्कोको पर्सपेक्टिभ अर्कोको कल्चरल पर्सपेक्टिभलाई understand गर्ने बुझ्ने पनि उत्तिकै इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ भनेर पनि that's something a great lesson मैले learn गरेँ. I had a Nepali friend, he's a Sherpa, and he goes to college in upstate New York. And he started liking an American girl, and he उसले one semester देखि नै try गरिरहेको थियो कि त्यो केटीलाई पट्याउन चाहिँ. अनि उसको बानी चाहिँ नेपालीको बानी भाइ जिस्किने बानी हुन्छ केटीहरूसँग ए मोटी भन्दैन हामीलाई के लाग्दैन नि यहाँ त किनभने हामीलाई मोटी भनेको त यो साइजको पिपल हो नि एट मोस्ट. अनि उसले पनि एकचोटि जिस्किँदा केटीलाई के जिस्किँदा उसले के भन्दैछ भने त्यो केटीलाई you have a double chin. So who has double chin? अलि मोटी मान्छेहरूको त double chin हुन्छ नि right? नत्र भन्दैन त्यो केटीले understood it as oh you're trying to tell me that I'm fat भनेर बुझ्यो. So that kid the American girl she felt so offended कि breakup means उसले यत्रो semester यत्रो 4-5 months सँग गरेको effort was like lost in that few seconds when he told her like you have a double chin. So things like that, right? हाम्रो लागि मोटी भन्ने के नलाग्ला, we like accept it, nothing. But for American people, think that way, you know? उनीहरूको लागि त्यो कतिको personally they take and how offensive they feel. And same thing with my roommate पनि. My roommate, she was American, and उसलाई चाहिँ खाना कस्तो मन पर्दछ food भने I see her eating a lot and क्या enjoy गरेर खाएको पनि. अनि एकदिन one day I asked her, Molly, do you like food? And she said, why? And I told her, you eat a lot. And she understood that I was trying to tell her you are fat. But she's a very slim girl actually, she's not fat. So the word like you eat a lot, but she understood it as like I'm trying to say her you're fat. And so things like that today. So you can see like how different it is, like culturally understand the name. And other thing with my name, karma is the beach for it. Idioms karma is the beach, right? Well, I didn't know karma is the beach for the idioms for it. And at college, my roommate friend came to my room and said, oh, you're karma. Are you that karma? Karma is the beach. And that's the first time I heard this line, karma is the beach. And I feel so bad. How can this guy tell me, no, karma is the beach for it? So things like that. Feels like a misunderstanding. So things like that. And also important things, America is the land of diversity, right? They have people from all over the world, and it's also called the land of immigrants. So America, if you go to college, you see white-skinned people, black-skinned people, Asian American, they're kind of very diverse race students that you find it. And I'm not telling if you see Asian type, initially I used to do that, right? I and my friend live in this encounter Asian type of face where your kids can think, hey, where are you from? Of course, American born. They will of course say I'm American, and actually accidentally, hey, you look like Asian, hey, you look like Asian. I wasn't wrong, her parents are from Asia, but she considered herself as American because she was born in America. So when I say you look like Asian, like racist like you. Okay. And America, racism is a big thing. They take it very personally. I wasn't trying to mean that way. Asian type, this must be Asian, white, this must be European. So a difference, that's bad. And same thing with African Americans. So African Americans people are African students. When in my college, I have some African friends, and we have lots of African American students as well. And actually, our African American students only watch it. So usually African students are culturally, if you notice, they like to wear like bright colors of clothes. So that price are red, bright color of clothes. And that day, त्यो African American student ले पनि एकदम bright clothes लगाइरहेको छ. So they both मैले चाहिँ चिनेको थिएँ के. Okay, she's African American. When my professor came and I was with my professor, मेरो professor ले पनि he thought कि त्यो African American student is from Africa actually. किनभने त्यो पनि अलिकति racist थियो. Racism नै देखिन्छ American perspective ले हेर्यो भने. Just because she was wearing some bright clothes, my professor thought she must be from Africa too. So I really decided judgment gonna tell be very sensitive because I think that racist lot to listen. So I think I'm gonna end up here. So my experience going to Switzerland and then going to US. I think that has been a very fascinating experience for me. First thing, obviously, education, right? Education system was very good. I'm very proud of getting going to American university, going to school, doing having an IB diploma. Of course, education. For other things, cultural transition experience, that's something that I find is very personal, and I feel very lucky that I got to experience this one. I realized that Nepal to Switzerland and Swiss to America, how big this world is. How we think of Earth, we think of different countries, but how different we could be culturally, and how helpful it is also for us to understand those culture. That's something I really learned. And other thing at this time, you think about globalization, right? Think about globalization. Think about modern wars. Your world is interconnected and so interdependent, right? And I think at your time, I think it's really important that we learn about different other cultures. I think different cultures, when you are living in two different cultures, there is so much to learn from them, and there is so much from us to give them as well. And even them fascinating lives. So that was another thing. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I like the most about studying abroad, being exposed to different cultures, diverse way of thinking, different way of thinking, how they think and how I think. It's the kind of things to come with those kind of things. And other things and traveling is fun. Going to other countries is always fun. So I'm glad you guys are all here today, and you want to go to America. I'm really proud of you guys. Go for it. I think everyone should at least have a study abroad or experience. Okay, thank you. Any questions? If you have any question regarding American college, anything.
What is your major in this undergraduate?
I'm a political science student.
Questions for our guest speaker?
Which subject did you take IB?
IB, I took geography, biology, environmental science. We have to do Nepali as well. They require you to do one mother tongue language as well, English, and what else? Yeah, that's it.
You told that you were selected only by your personal study. So impressive. Can you tell us about tests?
Test? Okay. Well, I don't feel that comfortable talking about my test, but it weren't that bad. My test scores were average.
After these many years in the US, can you say that you're entirely comfortable with your culture now?
Not really, no. There are things I still feel very uncomfortable. Even today, I still have hard time starting casual conversation with American students. It's hard. America is so diverse, so Not really. I've adjusted. Even sometimes I have understanding their perspective, their way of doing things. I still have like hard time like cooperating with those things.
Can you tell like your how would it be like your daily routine here in USA?
Sorry.
As a student, like
Can you say again?
can you tell us, like your daily student routine, study life?
Okay. So America, you have your class schedule. So I go to school. I go to classes when I have classes. Other times, like classes are it depends on where you live. If you live in resident hall or off campus, there is like different time schedule for each students, like how they have their daily activities. I live off campus now, so when I have classes, I go to campus, and if I have to use library, I use library. And अर्को thing say American college there are lots of clubs for students to involve or get engaged with activities. So if I have any club meetings, if I club members are in the school, so if I have any meetings or any programs or any activities, I go and participate. That's all.
So is it tough?
No. Why not? I don't think it's tough. Yeah, it's very rigid. Like you have continuously class, right? America, there is so flexibility with your classes. You can choose your classes with the days and time you want. So sometimes in one day, I just have one class. For the weeks, I just have 3 classes. So I might have classes on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Other days I'm free. So it really depends on how you schedule your class hours. And the rest of the times, you can either study or you can socialize or do whatever you want.
How do you range in terms of difficulty the study nature of our country, Switzerland and American university? Which is difficulty in reading, studying?
Studying?
Yeah.
I would say critical thinking. That was something very challenging for me because I was so used to memorizing stuff here, reading like those guidebooks, like very depending on those guidebooks. So I realized that I wasn't really thinking very well. So when I had to write analysis paper or critique paper, I always had, even today I have like hard time doing that. Because those things needs like really, coming up with arguments, you come up with your ideas and you have to like provide evidence, even like humanities is a paper like मेरो political science so अलिकति critically think गर्ने चाहिँ मलाई एकदम गाह्रो लाग्यो.
What do you have of your study abroad experience? So, are you planning to join any study abroad program during your undergraduate study?
No, because first thing I don't have much time, but sometimes I feel a little regretful. I should have gone like somewhere. I really wanted to go China and study. I could have done that, or classes are really enough, so I didn't do it. But yeah, to me, if you go to American college, enroll you can still study abroad a semester or a year outside USA.
Do you sometimes feel that you were being overestimated by the Americans?
Over what? Sorry.
Underestimated, sorry.
Underestimated.
You're bullied by others.
Sometimes that happens. I think that happens here in Nepal too. So it really depends on people you're hanging out with. In Switzerland, in my English class, not just me, मसँगै एउटा नेपाली केटा पनि गएको थियो ल, from same school to that school. अनि हामी चाहिँ त्यो English class we were very active. We used to participate a lot. अनि teacher also हैन हामीलाई क्या मन पराउँथ्यो टिचरले पनि हुन्छ नि त क्या encourage गर्थ्यो हामीलाई. And there were like other boys. I think they were jealous. So they were jealous. अनि मेरो friend को मलाई चाहिँ हैन just मेरो friend को चाहिँ accent राम्रो थिएन के. उसको English को चाहिँ accent राम्रो थिएन. अनि when he answered त्यो केटाहरु चाहिँ साइडमा giggling गरेर बस्ने हाँस्ने and मेरो friend को accent को हुन्छ नि fun हुन्थ्यो के. So those kind of त्यो चाहिँ देखे. त्यो चाहिँ experience गर्यो in high school, but not in college. But I want to go to grad school in America as well, and then I want to come back. So are you all excited with your application process? Okay, good luck.